The recording has started. Hare Krishna, I welcome everybody to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have our great Kalasudha Mataji to enlighten us on special topic, Lord Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Servitude. Hare Krishna, Kalasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your valuable time and attention on this auspicious day. Please take over the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you all so much for this very special opportunity. Very, very grateful to Preeti Vilasini for this opportunity. Thank you very much. Wishing all of you a very, very, very happy Sri Balaram Purnima. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Atama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamaline Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 1, Text 2. Yadoscha dharmashilasya nitaram munisattama Tratram senaivatisnasya Vishnur viryani samsanaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O best of the Munis, you have also described the descendants of Yadu, who were very pious and strict adherent to religious principles. Now, if you will, kindly describe the wonderful, glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladev, his plenary expansion. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Again, wishing all of you a very happy Sri Balaram Purnima, welcoming all of you wonderful devotees, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis online. Thank you for being there. So here, today is the most blessed appearance day of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram and Krishna, there is no difference between the two personalities, actually. They are both the same. They are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The only difference lies, there are two differences between the two lords. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his complexion is dark. Krishna is black in color. And Lord Balaram is crystal white. He is white as crystal. So the first difference is the difference in their complexion. One is black, one is white. And the second difference is in the mood. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in as an enjoyer. And Balaram, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in servitude. His mood is in service to Sri Krishna. So this is the difference, the only two differences between Krishna and Balaram. There is no other difference. And Lord Balaram is so amazing. He is such an ardent servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He is in fact referred to as the first servitor of Krishna, the first person who always is ready to serve, Krishna. So Krishna is extremely dear to Lord Balaram, and Balaram is extremely dear to Krishna. And in fact, whenever Krishna comes, Lord Balaram comes along with him. And Balaram not only serves Krishna as a personality, but Balaram also serves Krishna in every kind of form possible. He expands as Balaram expands as Krishna's jewelry, Krishna's ornaments, Krishna's vastras, his clothes, Krishna's, even his flute. Every paraphernalia that is used by Krishna is the expansion of Lord Balaram. It is also said that the Dham, the Vaikuntha, Goloka Vrindavan Dham, all of these Dhams are also expansions of Lord Balaram. In fact, even when Krishna wants to lie down, Balaram immediately expands as Anantashesh and says, "Yes, my Lord, please lie down on my coils." So on the nice, nowadays we have all this waterbed and airbed. Imagine the coils of Anantashesh. That is like a combination of waterbed and airbed together. And coolness. Snakes' bodies are supposed to be the coolest. So Krishna, when he lies down on Anantashesh, he gets a combination of airbed, waterbed, and cool bed. So that's the coolest bed ever. That is how beautifully Lord Balaram serves Krishna. So amazing. Tireless service. He never ever tires. Anantashesh, the reason why he is called Anantashesh is, of course, he has many, 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 many hoods, unlimited hoods, Ananta. But also he's called Anantashesh because for, millions and millions of years, for eternity, Anantashesh is trying to sing the glories of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna. He's singing all these glories, but they're never completing. They're never coming to an end. The glories are unlimited of Krishna. That is another reason why Lord Anantashesh is called Anantashesh. Because he's just going on singing the glories of Krishna and they're never ever completing. How beautiful, this is the way Lord Balaram is serving Sri Krishna. In fact, in the 5 different rasas, the 5 primary rasas that we have, Lord Balaram, he serves Krishna in neutrality, in Shantaras, as I mentioned, with his clothing, his jewelry, all of the dham is a manifestation of Lord Balaram. In fact, even when the holy name, it is said that Koli Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar, that in Kali Yuga, Krishna manifests as the holy name. So Balaram comes along with Krishna every single time. When Krishna came, Krishna was accompanied by Lord Balaram. When Lord Ramachandra came, he came as Lakshmana. When Mahaprabhu came, he came as Nitai. Lord Gauranga was accompanied, Nimai was accompanied by Nitai. So like this, Krishna has never ever come alone. He has always been accompanied by Lord Balaram in some form or the other. So in this Kali Yuga, of course, with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu also comes. That is Lord Balaram. But what about when we say that Koli Kale Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar? That, in Kali Yuga, the Lord manifests as the holy name. Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. So what is Lord Balaram manifesting as? He manifests as the musical instruments, the mridangas, the karatals, all of these instruments that help in the Nam Sankirtan of the Lord. They are the expansions of Lord Balaram. And very, very important thing, that what actually gives us the strength to chant the holy names? Krishna is no doubt, he's manifesting as the holy name in this Kali Yuga. But what gives us the power to chant the holy name? What gives us the strength to actually chant the holy names? Or rather, who gives us the strength to chant the holy names? It's none other than Lord Balaram. It is by his strength, it is by his power that gives us the motivation to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna and Balaram are present here in this Mahamantra. And Balaram is giving us the strength to chant the japa of the holy names. That is how Balaram is manifesting in Shantaras. In Dasya Ras, it is explained that how Balaram is the first servitor of Krishna. When Krishna opens his eyes, even before Mother Jashoda comes and wakes him up, Balaram is the one who actually checks out Krishna. Because Krishna, he disappears the entire night. He's not in his bed in Nandagram. He's not in the bed. So, before Mother Jashoda comes in, Balaram needs to check whether Krishna is there in the bed and if he is intact. Like one time, we all know, I've said this pastime so many times, but it's such a sweet pastime that, one time when Radha and Krishna were, in the pastime together in the middle of the night, and then they slept off. And that very morning, the alarm clocks of Vrinda Devi, who are the parrots and the peacocks and the beautiful birds of Vrindavan, they somehow got a little late to wake up the divine transcendental couple. And Shri Radhe and Sham, they were actually still resting in each other's arms. And in their hurry, somehow Vrinda Devi just, quickly woke them up. The, parrots started chirping, all the birds started chirping. And then Sri Radhe got up. And then they got up in a hurry. And then in that hurry, they wore each other's clothes. Sri Krishna wrapped himself in the blue sari of Srimati Radharani. And Sri Radhe wrapped herself in the yellow dhoti of Krishna. And they both ran away to their individual homes. Radharani ran off to Barshana and Krishna came to Nandagaon. And when Krishna came there, he just slipped into his bed. But Balaram said, Kanha, are you here? And Krishna said, yeah, just got in. And then Balaram opened his eyes to check if everything is okay. And he said, what are you wearing, Kanha? You are wearing a blue dhoti. What's wrong with you? So not to embarrass Krishna anymore, immediately Sri Balaram helped Krishna change into his yellow dhoti, and he understood that this is the divine garment of Srimati Radharani. So Lord Balaram, he folded it very nicely and arranged it on a beautiful tray and had it delivered to Barshana as a special gift coming from Mother Jashoda. He made some special arrangement because, he knew that if Radharani's sari is missing, then she would be in a lot of trouble. So somehow, by some divine arrangement, Sri Balaram made Krishna and Radharani be saved from a very embarrassing situation. So he is the first servitor who is so expert in serving Sri Krishna. So when Mother Jashoda walked in, she saw, oh, my Gopal is nicely asleep wearing his pitambari yellow dhoti. So Mother Jashoda was very satisfied. And Balaram just was, right there next to Krishna, taking care of him. So this is how Balaram serves in Dasya Ras. As Sakhas in Sakhya Ras, Balaram keeps all the secrets of Krishna. He is so expert in keeping secrets and not revealing anything to anybody, like this particular incident. It was a secret between Krishna and Balaram, because it is only amongst friends that we can keep secrets. So these secrets were very, very confidential. When the cowherd boys and the calves were kidnapped by Lord Brahma, and when Krishna manifested as each and every one of those cowherd boys and the calves, this secret was only known to two people. One was Purnamasi and one was Lord Balaram. So Balaram was very good at keeping secrets. Therefore, he became the most confidential confidant of Krishna. Very, very dear to Krishna. So he would keep all of Krishna's sweet and naughty secrets. That is Lord Balaram, serving Krishna as his best friend. Friend in need is a friend indeed. So Balaram was Krishna's real, real, real friend, keeping all of his secrets like this. As in Vatsalya Ras, Balaram was very, very concerned. It is said that when Krishna jumped into the lake of Kaliya, into Kaliya Daha, to subdue Kaliya, it was a plan by both Krishna and Balaram that they're going to play, ball with the boys like this. And then, the ball would be thrown in such a way that it would fall into Kaliya Daha, and that Krishna would go and rescue that ball, try to bring that ball. So he would jump into that Kaliya Daha. So this was all a plan by Krishna and Balaram. Krishna had revealed this plan in secrecy to Lord Balaram. And Balaram said, yes, no problem, Kana, we'll do it. We'll, set the stage for that. So, Krishna said, yes, we need to do this. So thank you, Balaram, for helping me. And then when Krishna dived into the Kaliya Daha, at first Balaram was actually very, very cool and composed, and he was actually trying to console also the cowherd boys who were in so much anxiety, and they were all panicking. They were all panicking for the safety of Krishna, because each and every one of them knew what was happening to the cows and the calves who were drinking that particular water from that particular section of the Jamuna, because it was poisoned by the treacherous poison of Kaliya. So all the cowherd boys, they were in panic. They were panicking for Krishna, and some of them ran into Vrindavan to bring Jashoda Maya and to bring Nanda Baba. And when Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya came out, then Balaram started consoling them too. That no, don't worry, Kanha will be okay. He will be okay. But then when Krishna started fighting with Kaliya, and while fighting, Krishna was getting wrapped around by the coils of Kaliya. And then sometimes, Krishna was coming out of the waters of the Jamuna, and, Kaliya was coming out with his hoods, and Krishna was still wrapped around in the coils of Kaliya, and they were both coming up, giving some vision, and then again going back into the water. So when this happened, the first time when this vision came of Balaram actually seeing that Krishna was twisted and turned in the coils of Kaliya, Balaram panicked. Because of his, parental love for Krishna, Balaram, indeed, for he really felt that protective, that he started thinking that why did I not go? Why did I have to send Krishna to fight this deadly poisonous snake? What's wrong with me? How can I call myself to be the elder brother of Krishna? I am supposed to protect Krishna, and I willingly sent him away to the coils of this poisonous serpent, Kaliya. What's wrong with me? And Balaram was, that time he started panicking. Out of his parental love, out of his protectional love that he felt for Krishna, Balaram started panicking. And he said he was repenting. He was repenting so much that why, oh, why did I not go? And why did I allow Krishna to go? My dear brother Krishna, he is entrapped over there and he is fighting so much with Kaliya. What will I do? Why did I not go? Balaram was lamenting. But then when Krishna came out standing on the hoods of Kaliya and for the pleasure of all the Brajabasis, in fact, Mother Jashoda seeing those visions coming up and down like this of Krishna fighting with Kaliya, Mother Jashoda had fainted and Balaram was on the verge of fainting. Nanda Baba and the other Brajbasis were also on the verge of fainting. At that very moment, Krishna appeared on the hoods of Kaliya and he was dancing like Natabara Krishna. Nataraj Sri Krishna, he was dancing so beautifully on the hoods of Kaliya for the pleasure of all the Brajavasis. So this is how, Balaram felt so protective of Krishna, displaying and manifesting his Vatsalya Bhav. And then in Madhurya Ras, Lord Balaram, he is a personality who follows etiquette to the greatest extent possible. And he knows very well that Srimati Radharani, she respects Lord Balaram so much. But whenever Balaram comes in front of her, she becomes very shy. Because according to Vedic culture, the beloved's brother or the husband's brother is to be treated, the elder brother especially, is almost to be treated on the level of the father-in-law and to be given that much respect. So, they're given respect out of, the position that they hold. So Srimati Radharani, she is the epitome of chastity. Srimati Radharani is the personification of all culture and chastity. So, whenever Srimati Radharani would see Lord Balaram, out of her respectful behavior, she would become very shy and timid in front of Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, in order to not put Srimati Radharani in such an embarrassing situation, would very seldom come in front of her. Very, very, very rarely would come in front of her. So, Lord Balaram, therefore, in order to serve Krishna and Srimati Radharani in the Madhurya Ras, he manifested himself, expanded himself rather, as Ananga Manjari, who is the beautiful, 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 tender like a white lotus. She is the sister of Srimati Radharani, Ananga Manjari. So Ananga Manjari is such a sweet and an exceptional Manjari. She's unique. And she resides, actually, her residence is in the heart of Radha Kund. It is said that in the center of Radha Kund is the grove of Ananga Manjari. And Ananga Manjari's grove connects the Sham Kund and Radha Kund together. And it is in the groves of Ananga Manjaris that Sri Radha and Krishna enjoy their most intimate and confidential pastimes. And Ananga Manjari is the one who arranges for all of these confidential pastimes to take place. So as Manjari, she is just an 11-year-old girl, 11 or 12 years old girl. And Even the Sakhis, the Gopis, the girlfriends of Srimati Radharani, they are the same age as Srimati Radharani, 15 years old. So when Srimati Radharani is intimate with Krishna, the Sakhis, her own dear friends, they leave Srimati Radharani alone because she feels very embarrassed. But that's when the little Manjaris, the little girls, they come and they assist Sri Radha and Krishna in their most confidential, pastimes. When Srimati Radharani's hair gets entangled with Shyamasundara's, at that time the Manjaris come and separate the hair. If Srimati Radharani, her hair becomes untied, they come and plait it up. They do all these confidential services to the divine couple. So this is the position of Ananga Manjari, who is very, very confidentially serving the divine couple in Madhurya Ras, who is none other than Lord Balaram himself. So Lord Balaram, he is a very, very, very beautiful servitor of Krishna. And it is said that Lord Balaram never tires of his service to Krishna. He always looks for opportunities and opportunities, and he teaches how to render service in all circumstances, come what may. Like in the case of Lakshmana, when Lord Ramachandra, when he was bound to go to the forest, when he was exiled to the forest, Mother Sita, being his wife, it is said that the wife, always, whether in happiness or distress, the wife is always, supposed to be with the husband. I say supposed because, Kali Yuga, these things are very, very rare. But as devotees, at least we are supposed to really follow these Vedic standards. So, well, Mother Sita, her going into the forest is completely acceptable according to Vedic standards. But Lakshmana was not really bound by any rules or regulations. There's no such rule for a brother. I mean, Lakshman could have very well said, okay, my dear Lord Ram, my dear elder brother, all right, here's where we part our ways, see you after 14 years. Lakshmana could have very well said that. But Lakshmana, he is such a brother that he will not leave the Lord in any circumstances. And what kind of austerities Lakshmana performed during those 14 years towards Mother Sita and Lord Ramachandra? He did not sleep for 14 years. He was always, vigilant and alert and protecting his elder brother and his Mother Sita. He was always there as their first protector. How much of tribulations Lakshmana went through to serve Lord Ram and Mother Sita during the exile. Nowadays we see that there is something called as, I was listening to one lecture by Srila Radhanath Swami Guru Maharaj, and he was mentioning this point about how devotees are nowadays, sometimes we see their, sunshine Vaishnavas, sunshine devotees. Means that when situations are very nice, then everything is good. Everything is very, very nice. But as soon as situations go downhill, they just become, it's like Amavasya. It's become like an eclipse on their spiritual life. The first thing that goes out the door is, their spiritual practice. They lose faith in the movement. They lose faith in the lotus feet of their guru, of Krishna. Why? As soon as there is some difficulty, we lose faith. We lose, our eagerness to chant. We lose our eagerness to serve. How can that make us genuine Vaishnavas? How can we even claim to, receive Krishna's mercy if that is our situation? Any little difficulty comes, we immediately just crawl back into our cave and we say, why Krishna? Why did you do this to me? I don't deserve this. We don't say the same thing when happiness comes our way. That time we become sunshine devotees. We bask in the sunshine of our happiness. Yes, yes, yes. This is the most, you know, happy moment of my life, and there's no one in the whole world who deserves this more than me. That time we don't ask, why me? I don't deserve this happiness. We never question that. But on the contrary, let us see the life of you know, Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti. Mother Kunti, from the very day that she was married into Hastinapur to King Pandu, she has seen difficulties since that day. Her life has been a bed of thorns since that particular day. She lost her husband. Because of the benediction that she had from the devatas, from this Durvasa Muni, she was able to, have these five glorious sons, three glorious sons she had, and two, Nakul and Sahadev from, Madri. But however, she was able to have these sons because of, some good fortune that she had, that she was Krishna's aunt. She had this good fortune of having such glorious sons. But how much difficulty did she have when she came in as a young widow back into Hastinapur with little, you know, tiny five Pandavas when she walked in? How much opposition she had to face from Dhritarashtra. It was only Bhishma, Pitama, and Vidura who were gracious towards her. From the very childhood, the Pandavas were victims of the Kauravas' envy. They tried to poison Bhima. They tried to do so many things. In their youth, they sent Pandavas and Mother Kunti, all six of them, to go and stay in that house of the palace made of wax. And they burnt it down. But they were saved by the cleverness of Vidura. Such great difficulty. And then they wandered around in the forest. Mother Kunti was quite old and fragile by that time. So she wandered around with her five, handsome young sons, youthful sons. And that's when they got married to Draupadi. Arjuna won Draupadi. And then, we know how every one of them returned back to Hastinapur. But once they returned, they never got their kingdom back. They got something called Khandav Prastha, which they turned into Indraprastha by Krishna's mercy. Mother Kunti was there throughout. Then finally, how her own daughter-in-law, Draupadi, was insulted by the Kauravas. What a great, difficulty, what a great amount of frustration Mother Kunti must be going through. Can we imagine? That she was the queen, she was the Rajmata. And being that position, her own daughter-in-law was getting insulted by her own family. Imagine her situation. Then the Pandavas again, along with Draupadi, were again exiled into the forest. This time she stayed back in Hastinapur because the Pandavas begged her that she was so old that she could not tolerate, she would not be able to tolerate the difficulties of the forest life. So with her heart aching, she had to see her sons go away with her daughter-in-law. And she stayed back with Vidura, bearing the insults of the Kauravas constantly. And when the Pandavas were finally, they served their tenure of, staying in the forest and everything. When it was time for them to come back, Duryodhana refused to give them their kingdom back. And then it was time for war. So when it was the time for the battle, at that time in that battle, what did Mother Kunti lose? She not only lost her dear son Karna, her eldest son Karna. Imagine when, if any of our sons die, as mothers we can understand how painful it can be. But just imagine if one of our sons is killed by another one of our sons. How would that feel? That's what Mother Kunti felt. Her son Karna was killed by none other than her own son Arjuna. Then her grandson Abhimanyu died. She had to tolerate that. Then after the battle, her 5 more grandsons from each of the Pandavas, they had one son by Draupadi, each of them. So all of these 5 of her grandsons were also unjustifiably killed in their sleep by Ashwathama. All of this Mother Kunti tolerated. She has been through these kind of difficulties. Yet, when Krishna was leaving after the end of the battle, and when Krishna was going back to Dwarka, at that time, what does Mother Kunti say? She's saying, Krishna, you stayed with us when we were going through difficulty. But now, when everything seems to become apparently all right, you are leaving and going away. So I actually welcome difficulties in my life so that you can stay with us, O Krishna. So none of us can be Mother Kunti. None of us can imagine what Mother Kunti went through in her life. And for her to say this, in spite of all that she's gone through, for her to again say this, that please Krishna, you give me more difficulties, Bipada Shantu, give me difficulties so that I can remember you. That is a strength of a different level altogether. But that is what it means to be devotees under all circumstances, seeking shelter of Krishna under all circumstances. We cannot be sunshine devotees. We cannot be devotees that we choose that, okay, in this situation, I'll be surrendering to Krishna, but in that situation, I'll go back into my cave. And I'll start questioning Krishna that why you're doing this to me. That is bad on our part. So, in all circumstances, in all situations of our life, whatever situation we are in, we must learn to seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is exemplified by the life of Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram as Adi Guru, he is teaching that by example, how to seek shelter of Krishna in all circumstances of life. Be it sunshine or rain. Krishna, you are my worshipable Lord at all times. This is the teaching of Lord Balaram. This is how he is giving us what we should be doing as devotees, how we should be devotees. How Lord Balaram, as the expert servitor of Krishna, how he's serving Krishna in all circumstances. So Lord Balaram, he, we all know how, Lord Balaram killed quite a few demons. He killed Pralambasura, he killed Dhenukasura, he killed, quite a few demons like that. But then Lord Balaram also killed Romaharshana Shuta, and he also killed Dvivida Gorilla. And the reason why Dvivida Gorilla was killed, there's a very, very significant pastime to this. That Dvivida Gorilla, he was actually the gorilla who was part of Lord Ramachandra's army in rescuing Mother Sita. He was one of the captains of the gorilla team under Jambavan. So Dvivida was a very, very dear servitor of Lord Ramachandra, very dear servitor of Lord Ram. And he was helping in that battle against Ravana. He was a very, very, strong and competent and a very surrendered devotee of Lord Ramachandra. But he was envious of Lakshmana. He was not able to tolerate Lakshmana, Dvivida. In fact, when Lakshmana was hit by the weapon of Indrajit and Hanuman had to, bring Sanjeevani, at that time, Dvivida actually became a little offensive, not a little, but quite a bit offensive to Lakshmana, saying that, oh, you all consider him to be the supreme, along with, Lord Ram? How? No, look at him. He is injured, and he talked very derogatively about Lakshmana. And that was not tolerated by Lord Ram. Lord Ram can tolerate insults towards himself, but Lord Ram will never ever tolerate any insult done towards his own devotee and a devotee like Lakshmana. He'll never tolerate that. So, although during that particular pastime, nothing was done to teach Dvivida Gorilla the lesson, because his activities or his devotional service credits was so much that he was able to live an entire yuga after that. But because of that offense that he committed to Lakshmana, he got attracted to bad association, to Narakasura. He became attracted to the association of negative people. That is what happens when we commit offenses. When we commit offenses to Vaishnavas, we can see proof of it in front of our eyes, that we will get attracted to bad association. We will move away from the association of devotees. We will become victims of doing all this gossip, and we'll do all this nonsense activities, nothing to do with glorification of Krishna, but we will do everything other than that. Then that is a clear-cut sign that we are become guilty of Vaishnava Parad, and that we must be making ourselves cautious, that let's stop and think, and let's try to get back to the real path of devotional service. We must be very, very careful to protect our Krishna consciousness in this way. So anyways, Dvivida Gorilla was not careful, and he got attracted to the association of Narakasura, the negative association of Narakasura, and he became a very, very bad and proud and demoniac gorilla. And when Krishna and Balaram, when they were enjoying their pastimes here in Dwapar Yuga, after Treta Yuga, so Dvivida lived for that entire Yuga. And then once when Lord Balaram, in the evening, in the autumn evening, he was, in his sweet pastimes with his own gopis, at that time, this Dvivida gorilla, he came and he just, he said, oh, who is this man who is enjoying with all these women? And, he became very envious. And then he sat on a tree and he was going on making sounds like killa, 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 like that. He was, he was making these sounds so that he could attract attention to himself. And then, he started doing all nonsense activities, and he was, throwing and hurling things at everybody. And first, the gopis were enjoying this act because they found it very funny that this gorilla is making all these funny sounds and all that. But then this Dvivida gorilla became more offensive. And in order to incite Lord Balaram more, he started doing something very, very offensive. He started showing his private parts to the gopis, and that offended Lord Balaram like anything. And then Lord Balaram just gave one punch to his chest, and that's it. Boom, he was dead. He was gone. Just one punch, and Dvivida gorilla was gone. He was killed by Lord Balaram himself. So this pastime teaches us that Lord Balaram, being the Adi Guru, the original spiritual master, is not going to tolerate any kind of pride in any person. That if any person has any pride, Lord Balaram will take a needle and will deflate that balloon of pride, whatever extent it is needed. So for Dvivida gorilla, he gave his mercy to Dvivida by just killing him on the spot. And then, of course, Dvivida gorilla was, liberated because he got killed by Lord Balaram himself. So how to stay, cautious in the association of Vaishnavas? how to associate with Vaishnavas by not committing any offenses to them, even mentally. Try not to do that, because from mental comes thought, from thought comes mentality, then from mentality it takes very less time to convert into our thought, our words. So we have to be very careful of Vaishnava Aparad, because Vaishnava Aparad takes us away from the mercy of Krishna. We have to be very, very careful. This is what we learn from Dvivida's pastime. Another pastime that Lord Balaram did was when Lord Balaram came to Naimisharanya, and in Naimisharanya, Romaharshana Suta was, the sage Romaharshana. He was giving Bhagavad Katha. And again, this Romaharshana, he was such a qualified person. He was really, really very, very qualified. He was following the four regulative principles. Of course, he was, chanting, and he was a perfect devotee. But although he was a perfect devotee, he was very proud. He was proud of his knowledge. He was proud that he was the disciple of a very powerful guru. He was very proud. So this pride made him do some blunderous activity. What is that activity that Romaharshana did? That when Lord Balaram walked into the assembly, everybody assembled there stood up and offered obeisances in reverence to Lord Balaram. But Romaharshana did not. He was sitting and he was continuing his Bhagavad Katha. It is said that when we see our spiritual master, when we see the Guru, how many ever number of times in the day that we see the Guru, we must offer obeisances to the Guru. It doesn't matter how many times. Every time we see the Guru, we must offer obeisances. It is said that if we are chanting our Gayatri and the Guru walks in, we should actually break our Gayatri, like stop chanting our Gayatri, offer obeisances to the Guru, and then start chanting our Gayatri again. If we are, one time Srila Prabhupada, he was going to visit one of the life members in Kolkata. And so, Srila Prabhupada went with some of his disciples, and they rang the bell to the door of this, he was quite a rich man. So they rang the bell and the servant opened the door, and Prabhupada said, well, tell your master that, Bhaktivedanta Swami is here, and I'm come here to see him. So then this servant, ushered Prabhupada and, all the disciples inside. And then he went inside to call his master, and he came back and he said, oh, Swamiji, Sahib is, doing puja. He will come. Please sit. He will come in some time. So Srila Prabhupada was waiting. And while Srila Prabhupada was waiting, Srila Prabhupada commented to his disciples that he said that this is very immature, that the Guru is standing at your door and you are busy worshipping Krishna. But the Guru is the representative of Krishna. You should come and worship your Guru first. If your Guru is waiting for you, never keep him waiting. Never say that, oh, I have to finish my puja and then come and worship my Guru. No, that is immaturity. So Srila Prabhupada was very, very, pakka in making these making us understand that what is important and how that we should give respect to the Guru. So Romaharshana, although Lord Balaram walked in, because he was so proud, he did not get up and did not offer his obeisances to Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, what did he do? He just took a, straw. Just he took a straw and he just touched the body of Romaharshana with it. And as soon as he touched the body of Romaharshana, he was dead, gone, finished. So this was how Lord Balaram immediately destroyed the ego of Romaharshana. It was a capital punishment that Lord Balaram gave. So some might say, well, what was such a great offense that, Lord Balaram, literally took his life? Even the sages over there, they were shocked that, my dear Lord Balaram, I mean, sorry that he did not offer obeisances, but why did you just kill him like this? You could even tell him. And Lord Balaram said, well, what I can do is I can bring him back if you want. Because the sages were saying, we just gave him, blessings that he may continue speaking the Bhagavad Katha, he may continue to do that and may he have a long life. We just gave him this blessing and you just came and cut the deal off. You killed him. But Balaram said, well, I didn't have intention to do that, but I can bring him back if you want. Then the sages said, well, no, don't have to do that. But maybe what you can do is the father actually lives through the son. So Romaharshana has this son, Suta Goswami. He's Romaharshana Suta. So this Suta, you give him this blessing that may he live a very long life and may he speak Bhagavad Katha very nicely. So Lord Balaram actually gave his blessings to Suta Goswami. And therefore, by the blessings of the Adi Guru Lord Balaram, Suta Goswami then became the second narrator of Srimad Bhagavatam. The first was, of course, Srila Shukadev Goswami, and the second became Suta Goswami by the mercy of Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, although he gave these blessings, he said that I feel like doing something else for you all. So then the sages said, well, what you can do is there's this one demon who is constantly coming and torturing us and not allowing us to do our austerities properly. Maybe you can kill him. So Balaram killed that demon, and then the sages were all very happy, and that's how Lord Balaram dealt with that situation. So in Kali Yuga, we see that how in Dwapar Yuga, Lord Balaram, with a straw in his hand, he actually killed Romaharshana, right? He killed the puffed up demoniac nature of Romaharshana by killing him with that straw. In Kali Yuga, that same Lord Balaram comes as Lord Nityananda. Brajendra Nandana Jai, Shochi Shuta Hoilo Shai, Balaram Hoilo Nitai. That same Lord Balaram comes as Nitai. And as Nityananda Ram, what does Lord Balaram do? He does the same thing. He has a straw not in his hand, but he takes a straw and puts it in between his teeth to show his humility. It is said that Dante Trino Dhori means you showing your humility by, having a straw in between your teeth. And with that, Lord Nityananda would follow the instructions that was given by Gauranga Mahaprabhu to him, that go to every, door of this place and go and tell everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. Just go and give them Krishna. Bhaja Krishna, kaho Krishna, laho Krishna nam. That just give them the name of Krishna. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he would go door to door, beg. He would beg everyone, please, please, my dear brother, my dear sister, please chant the holy names. Please chant the holy names. And how he would beg? He would beg by putting the straw in between his teeth, and he was literally begging that please, please, please chant the holy names. And when he would beg, he would be faced with also some unscrupulous men like Jagai and Madhai, who would come to even beat Lord Nityananda. Madhai, in fact, struck Lord Nityananda with an earthen pot. Lord Nityananda's head, had a cut. It was bleeding. But even in that condition, seeing that condition, Gauranga Mahaprabhu immediately appeared on the spot and he invoked the Sudarshan to just slay the head of Madhai for this grievous offense that he had done towards Lord Nityananda. And immediately that same Lord Balaram in the form of Nitai, the most merciful Nitai, he came and caught the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, please forgive him. You have come here in this incarnation not to kill the demons. Because if you have to kill demons, you have to kill everybody in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, everybody is a demon. All of us are demons in Kali Yuga. So if you kill Madhai, you have to kill everybody in Kali Yuga. So please don't do this. Please send back Sudarshan. Please kill the demoniac nature of these people in Kali Yuga. Please give them your mercy. So Lord Mahaprabhu was a little pacified by Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu with his, head bleeding, he went and hugged Madhai and said, my dear brother Madhai, please, please chant the name of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Seek shelter of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Chant Hare Krishna. Seeing this mercy, this compassion of Lord Nityananda, Madhai had no other choice. His heart melted and he immediately surrendered. And when Jagai and Madhai surrendered, the golden complexion of Gauranga Mahaprabhu for 1 second was blackish by absorbing all the sins of Jagai and Madhai. Chitragupta and Yamaraj fainted in Yamaloka because Yamaraj was making a special planet of hell for the punishment of Jagai and Madhai. Yamaraj fainted that what happened? This hell suddenly disappeared. This brand new construction of mine. What happened? Then Lord Shiva came to Yamaloka and chanted the name of Gauranga, Gauranga, and revived Yamaraj back to consciousness. And Yamaraj was revealed by Lord Shiva, the Param Vaishnav, that what happened actually with the life of Jagai and Madhai, the miraculous mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu transformed these two sinners for whom an entire hellish planet was getting created. In 1 second, all of their sinful reactions was completely cleansed. That is the power. That is the strength of Lord Nityananda, Balaram. So we have no other shelter other than Lord Balaram. This is our only shelter. Lord Balaram's lotus feet is our only shelter. We have no other way, no other... there's nothing else in this world other than the two lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Balaram. That is the only way we can actually even qualify to start approaching Gauranga Mahaprabhu for his mercy. We have no other, there's no other solution to other than that. Lord Balaram, he is so, so merciful. He is extremely kind, extremely merciful. As Adi Guru, Lord Nityananda, he is so compassionate, so merciful. So on this day, on the appearance day of Lord Balaram, we are seeking shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Balaram so that, Lord Balaram is the carrier of the plow and the gada. These are the two weapons of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram is therefore, he's called the most powerful. He's Bala, he's Bala and he's Rama. Imagine all these, nowadays we see all these WWF wrestlers and all of them. They are also powerful, but when you see them, you only see passion in them. You can't have, Saumya. You cannot have, pleasure. You don't see them as pleasurable objects. They are just like, in the mood of fighting and, all this muscle and all of this. That's what strength in, nowadays means. All these fighters and all of these people. But Balaram, he is such a beautiful amalgamation of both these qualities of strength, power, and unlimited beauty in bliss. Unlimited beauty. Lord Balaram is so, beautifully handsome. He is so beautiful. Lord Balaram's beauty is incomparable. Mere words don't serve justice to the beauty of Lord Balaram. He is the complexion. Lord Balaram, he is a 16-year-old youth. And Lord Balaram's lotus feet is reddish in color. And his body is the complexion of white crystal. And Lord Balaram, although he is as strong as a lightning, as a thunderbolt, but he is as soft as a white lotus at the same time, simultaneously. Both of these qualities exist in Lord Balaram. So much strength and so much softness. As tender as a white lotus, Lord Balaram is. Lord Balaram always is draped in blue garments. He has a very beautiful pink, satiny kind of cloth tied around his waist like a side cloth like that. And then he wears a very beautiful, waist belt, which is made of emeralds, beautiful blue emeralds. And sapphires. He's wearing that kind of a waist belt. Lord Balaram's, broad shoulders, his broad chest is covered with gunjamala, reddish. Gunjamala is this reddish pomegranate seeds like mala. That's called gunjamala. That's one of his favorites. He's always adorned with a necklace of gunjamala. He wears a garland of fresh forest flowers. And he wears beautiful, beautiful pearl necklaces around his very, very beautiful and broad chest. His armlets, his bracelets, his, finger rings. All of these are, so beautiful and glistening. Lord Balaram's, fingernails and his toenails are like 10 million moons. They always shine. They even put the diamonds to shame, the glistening of Lord Balaram's nails. Put the diamonds to shame. How beautifully they shine. Lord Balaram wears a very beautiful choker made of blue sapphires. His earrings are shark shaped, and they come in constantly, because Lord Balaram, he's always intoxicated in Varuni. He drinks this very beautiful drink called as Varuni. And he's always intoxicated in love for Krishna. And when he sways like an elephant, a white elephant, he's swaying around like that. His earrings also swing to and fro, and they always touch his cheeks, and the earrings become intoxicated. And there are always bumblebees who are swarming around Lord Balaram's face because they mistake Lord Balaram's lotus-like face to be an actual white lotus. So beautiful is the moon-like face of Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram's reddish lips, his very sharp nose, his beautiful doe-like eyes, and the cloud of hair that comes around this moon-like face of Lord Balaram is unimaginably beautiful. And Lord Balaram, he is decorated with black musk, the oil of the black musk. He does, decorations around his face, little painting around his face. So it's very, very, the scent coming from the musk and the forest flowers, they intoxicate the birds and the bees around Lord Balaram. They're always swarming around him. And his hair is tied in a top knot. And Lord Balaram wears a white feather on his hair. So beautiful, so gorgeous. This is the beauty of Lord Balaram. It is incomparable. It is just, you just want to immerse yourself in this beauty of Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram, in his arms, they extend down to his thighs. Such long, elongated arms and strong, powerful arms that can give shelter to anyone who seeks shelter of his divine lotus feet. So Lord Balaram, in his hand, he is carrying the plow, and in one hand he has the gada, the mace in his hands. And anyone who seeks shelter of Lord Balaram, on this day, we seek shelter of Lord Balaram's lotus feet. And we pray at his lotus feet, that just like how Lord Balaram drove away all the negativity in Romaharshana, in Dvivida, in all of the demons, in everybody, in Madhai, in Jaghai, everybody, he purified them. So we beg at the lotus feet of Lord Balaram that he may take his plow and he may just, the plow, what does it do? It takes out, it just goes into the earth and it pulls out the earth, and it just, brings out the softest earth from below. It brings out, and the hardened part, it makes it more fertile. It makes it more fertile. That's the duty of the plow. So Lord Balaram, may he just use his plow on the hard heart of our, heart that we have. May he just plow our heart and make it suitable so that Krishna's Bhakti Lata Bij can come and fructify in our heart. And may he take his gada and may he just drive away all the negativities from our heart. All the lust, pride, greed, envy, anger, let him take away everything. So that is our prayer to Lord Balaram, and we seek shelter of Lord Balaram on this most auspicious day of his divine transcendental appearance. Lord Balaram ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji, for it's a beautiful, beautiful fact. I have a few questions.
Yes.
But probably will not ask all because I want to give time to us. So my main question is about the fasting. The fasting of today, like Balaram Purnima is normally fasting till 12.
Yes.
But I've seen a lot of, contradictions going on in various temples, various places, that after fasting, whether it's Ekadashi or it's grain. If you can throw light on.
Well, it is grains today because the Ekadashi Prasad is taken only on 3 festivals. That is on Janmashtami, one is on Gaur Purnima, and the other is Nrsimha Chaturdashi. So just these 3 festivals, we break our fast with Ekadashi Prasad, and the rest of the festivals, we break our fast with grains. So.
Okay. So you said Gaur Purnima, Nrsimha Chaturdashi, and
Janmashtami, right? Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
And one more question I'll ask.
Yes, please.
Another is that you said about the Romaharshana, right? How he was killed. So the thing is, like when you said that we should rather, when spiritual master walks in, we should bow down irrespective of on the asasana or whatsoever. So what about it happened with me a couple of times, like doing arati on the altar and spiritual master walks in. So I never, did this, that I leave the arati, but from there I just show that, I just go down from just standing position only. I just go down, just giving him that yes, I acknowledge his presence.
Yes, but that is perfect. No, that is perfect because you're doing arti. It's not that you're neglecting your spiritual master in that way. See, the thing is about neglect, that we give priority to so extent that we just don't acknowledge the presence of the spiritual master. Offering obeisances means acknowledging the presence of the spiritual master. So while offering arti on the altar, if you come, if your guru comes there while you're offering arti, it's not that you should actually bow down, but you can immediately fold your hands and offer that respect to the guru and then continue on with your service. So that is perfectly fine what you're doing. It's perfectly fine.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
So
you.
maybe others can ask questions, and if there is no one, then probably I can continue with
Okay.
my further questions.
All right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Ma. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class. I really don't have any questions, but the class was so beautiful. I just wanted to get that you covered so many aspects of Balaram, so many aspects. So thank you for a very, very beautiful session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Very, very beautiful class, Mataji. At the end, it was like a meditation for me. You're describing the Balaram features and what he weighs, everything. Such a nicely described, Mataji. So sweet, I could feel it. Thank you, Mataji, for making, it's such a nice day for me. From your class, Mataji. Mataji, I have a question. I don't know, maybe the question might be like a small question. But I don't know really. Who is this Purnamasi Mataji? Why, especially she knows all the secrets like Balaram?
It's a very good question. Very, very good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Purnamasi, she is none other than Yogamaya, actually. And she manifested herself in Brajadham to assist in the special pastimes of Krishna and Balaram. And she manifested herself as a very elderly lady. She was actually the eldest lady of the village. And you know how everyone in the village, they kind of listened to the elderly lady, like that's why she was called Purnamasi, that she was like the Masi of the village. Everyone would call her Purnamasi, and because she was elderly, the most elderly in the village, everybody would listen to whatever she would say. So, and her saying would always be in conjunction to Krishna's pastimes. Like, she would say, because she knew that all the boys, cowherd boys, were Krishna, she made this prediction that particular year that, this year is very, very nice. It's very auspicious. All the nakshatras are very good. So, all the girls should get married to all the boys this year only. So because Purnamasi said this, nobody even questioned it. None of the Brajbasis questioned it. Because whatever Purnamasi says, that is the absolute truth. They had that faith in Purnamasi. And, they all immediately all the girls got married to all the boys, the cowherd boys of Vrindavan. Although they were so young, like that. So she is none other than Yoga Maya, basically. Manifestation of Yoga Maya.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for clarifying my doubt.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Kalasudha Mataji, as usual, from childhood, my dad is an example of Srimati Kunti Maharani. But when the difficulties came, again, she fallen soul, right step with me and crying in front of the Krishna, but not understanding, taking it sincerely. Mataji, thank you very much for explaining Shishu Balaram Leela. Morning also, we are and by Krishna's mercy, hear from you such a great Vaishnava. Mataji, my ma is also sitting with me. Her health is going down and down. Can you sing 2 or 3 stanza of Gopi Gita after all the question answers?
Sure. I will definitely pray for her also. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your amazing sincerity. Hare Krishna. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kalasudha Mataji. Thank you very much. So very beautiful. Enlightening class. Thank you.
Jai Kamadiki Mataji.
Otherwise, in class. Next class. Very much.
Thank you, Kamadiki Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, is there anybody having any more questions for Mataji?
Kirtida Sundari Mataji, any more questions?
Namaste, Mataji, yes. Mataji, again, this pastime of Ramaharshan. So when Lord Balaram killed him, so why then, he was told to atone for what he did?
Why was Lord Balaram told to atone?
Yeah, because Balaram said, right, that I atone for this, whatever I did.
Yes, because see, that way even Krishna atoned. Because yadacharati shreshthas tattadevitarojana. That whatever great men do, common men will follow. So even though Krishna, he killed Arishtasura, but the gopis still said that you have killed a bull, you have to atone for it. You have to get purified. We won't allow you to touch us. So Krishna also did that atonement. So it is because it's not that Krishna did something sinful, nor did Balaram do anything sinful. He actually, the killing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or giving mercy to the from receiving mercy from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, both are on the level of absolute. Both are mercy, both is compassion. So we should know that and understand that very well, that although it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, where this entire episode is happening, of Lord Balaram with Ramaharshana, the sages actually say that, my dear Lord Balaram, you don't even have to do, why are you even using the word atonement? You have actually liberated Ramaharshana, so there is no question of atonement. But Lord Balaram says that, no, it is for the world. It is for people, so that they know that, if there is something like this done, that there should be some kind of atonement done to it. And how did Lord Balaram atone for it? Not by doing any kind of penances or austerities himself, but he actually started pleasing those sages. He started doing service to those sages. Those sages were getting traumatized by this one demon. So Balaram said, okay, let me just help you by delivering that demon, killing that other demon. So, you know, in that sense, Lord Balaram, that is not called atonement in that sense. Actually, atonement really means, doing some kind of taking some austerity, and doing something like that. But Lord Balaram's nature of doing atonement was for the pleasure of the, he was doing service to the sadhus. So that's how we should also do atonement. If we have to do atonement, sometimes we think, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I will do self-infliction something, and all we'll think to be atonement. But real atonement is when we render service. That is why when we commit Vaishnava aparadh, we must beg for forgiveness from that devotee. But there are two elements of Vaishnava aparadh. That one is that the devotee takes offense, the other is that Krishna takes offense, that we offended his dear devotee. So we beg forgiveness from the devotee, but still the element of Krishna taking offense is still not taken care of. And how does Krishna forgive us? When we serve that devotee and please that devotee, then Krishna becomes pleased. You see? So that is the way that we can really do proper atonement. And Lord Balaram's doing of atonement was just for, setting the proper standards. Nothing else other than that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My last question, Mataji, is if you can throw some light on the principal gopi of Lord Balaram, which is Nandi. In the morning class, there was some topic came up. But just want to hear from you if you know something about it.
Okay, Lord Balaram's set of gopis were very different from the set of gopis that were with Krishna. Of course, this is a topic, I just spoke about it, I think, 3-4 days ago in another forum. about Balaram's gopis. But bottom line to understand is that Krishna's set of gopis and Balaram's set of gopis are completely different. They are not the same. That is one thing that we need to understand very, very clearly. When Krishna comes and does his Rasa Leela, Balaram also does Rasa Leela, but his Rasa Leela is with completely different set of gopis headed by Varuni. Varuni, she is, of course, she manifests as the drink, but she's actually a gopi. So Balaram's gopis are headed by Varuni, and his eternal consort is Revati. Um, so Revati and Varuni are the consorts of Lord Balaram, and Balaram's gopis are headed by Varuni. And they're very distinct from that of Krishna's. And when Balaram came back, after Krishna Balaram left for Mathura with Akrura, then Balaram had once come back. And when he came back, that's when he had his Rasa Leela. So when Krishna was in Vrindavan and when he was doing his Rasa Leela, that time Balaram never did Rasa Leela with his gopis also. He would just, interact with his gopis at that time. But when Balaram came back alone to Vrindavan, that's when, he actually did Rasa Leela with his set of gopis. So that's how it is mentioned. This is just a little brief overview that I'm giving, but there's more details to it.
Thank you, Mataji. But Prabhu morning was mentioning about Purnanandi, and I've never heard. So have you ever came across with it and how was she?
Oh, I have not heard. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Indu Mataji has one question.
Yes.
She was asking, like that time, continuous to my question, Mataji. You were telling, that time all gopis got married to the Krishna because everybody was Krishna, right? Who got married specifically to Krishna? That is Yashoda Maya's son Krishna. Then you answer that, Mataji. Yashoda Maya's son Krishna got married to which gopi?
Radharani.
Radharani? Oh,
of course. So, yes. Srimati Radharani got married to Krishna, original, Jashoda Nandan Krishna. And then everybody else, all the Sakhis, Lalita, Vishakha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Champakalata, Tungavidya, all of them. All the girls basically got married to all the boys. And they were none other than Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, any more questions? All right, if there's no more questions, I just wanted to recite Balaram's Pranam Mantra, and then I'll also honor Vrinda Gopika Mataji's request for Gopi Geet. So if that's okay with everybody.
Sure, Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Namaste tu halagrama, namaste mushalayudha, namaste revati kanta, namaste bhaktavatsala, namaste balinam shrestha, namaste dharani dhara, pralambari namaste tu, Trahi Mam Krishna Purvaja. Jai Shri Balaram ki jai. So Vrinda Gopika Mataji, here's Gopi Geet for you.
Yes, Mataji.
Pranata Dehinam Papakarshanam Trinacharanugam Sriniketanam Phani Phanarpitam कुचे शुना कृन्धिरिच्छयम् मधुरया गिरा वल्गुवाक्यया बुधमनोज्ञया पुष्करेक्षणा विधिकरेरिमा वीरमोयति अधरसिधुना प्याययस्वना। जय श्री गोपी गीत की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, I had a question. Is it okay if I can ask now?
Yes, please, please.
Mataji, thank you for a beautiful class. I always look forward to your classes. My question is, this is very least understood part of Krishna and Radha's pastime. Actually, I've heard many times that Radha was married to someone else, but now you said that Radha was married to Krishna. So, if you can please clear this misunderstanding. I'm not sure if I put the question right.
No, it is a very, very nice question. Thank you so much for asking. May I know your name?
This is Jyoti Mataji. I stay in Memphis.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your question.
Hare Krishna.
Well, this is a, we need to understand the position of Srimati Radharani. She is a very, very unique personality. She is meant for the pleasure of Krishna. Her name, Radha, means जो रासा मंडल की तरफ धावित होती हैं वो है राधा. Rasa mandala and dhavita means one who runs towards the rasa mandala for the pleasure of Krishna. She is Radha. That is the meaning of her name. So Srimati Radharani, her position is very, very she's even the greatest of sages, they perform dhyan towards Srimati Radharani. So Lord Shiva has sung her stutis, different sages have sung her stutis. So this question about who Srimati Radharani is actually married to, that is it's bringing Srimati Radharani down to a very mundane level, and Srimati Radharani is not to be discussed on such mundane level. That is not her position at all. She is Sri Krishna's eternal pleasure-giving potency. She is the eternal consort of Sri Krishna, and she is Krishna's property, So it is said that when Sri Krishna is extremely happy, if you take that happiness out of Krishna, it manifests in the divine form of Srimati Radharani. That is the description of Srimati Radharani. She lives for the pleasure of Krishna, she exists for the pleasure of Krishna. So although Srimati Radharani is actually married to Krishna, and not just in this pastime of the Brahma Vimohan Leela, we see that she is married to Krishna, but also there is many pastimes in the youth of Srimati Radharani that she was married to Krishna. But externally, actually all the gopis, they were married to other cowherd men of Vrindavan, So Srimati Radharani, her so-called husband was Abhimanyu. And it is said that in the material world, the highest form of loving expression is Parakiya Ras. Parakiya Ras means, having a conjugal relationship with a person who is not your wife. That is Parakiya Ras. Parakiya Ras is not existing in the spiritual world, because in the spiritual world, everyone is Krishna's, everyone belongs to Krishna. So, in order to experience Parakiya Ras, Krishna does this special Leela where the gopis apparently are married to their so called husbands, but Krishna is enjoying this particular rasa to experience this highest form of the manifestation of this ecstatic love, um, you know, between the gopis and Krishna. This is the way it has been explained. So, this is a topic in itself, but for now, we need to understand that Srimati Radharani belongs to Krishna, and Krishna's, she is Krishna's, and she is definitely married to Krishna and nobody else. But definitely her so called husband is Abhimanyu, and she has a mother-in-law, she has sister-in-law also. And so they have certain pastimes which increase the sweetness of love between Radha and Krishna. That is the purpose that they are there. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. All right, if there's no more questions, we can end here. Please, organizers, I beg for your forgiveness for the extreme delay in the class today. Sorry for that.
Thank you once again, Mataji, for such a beautiful class. If there are no more questions, we would like to offer ourselves to Mataji and all Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarobhyasya viha sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Har Grace Kalasudha Mataji ki jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Thank you all so much.
This session is no longer
and I also thank all the online viewers. Thank you. Thank you, Indu, for your very, very sweet question. My dear Devesh, thank you for being there. Thank you. I really miss seeing you, but even though your Amma is not here, but you are here, I'm very happy. Thank you, Beta, for coming online. And thanks to all the other devotees for coming online. Thank you all so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your assistance.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, once again.
Hari Bol, thank you.